Yet another live training session with another PDP trainee of ours, Sarika. Today we are going to interview Sarika. She comes from a different background altogether. She comes from a background of engineering, 12 years of corporate experience, and then something inside her calls her towards mental health, towards psychology, and she pursues psychology. And then one day she stumbles across PDP, and everything shifts. Today, I am going to interview a PDP trainee of ours who is an example of embodiment. A lot of us talk about healing others, but rarely have I seen in the industry people talking about healing yourself before healing others and healing yourself while healing others. Sarika has worked on her relationships, she has worked on her confidence, she has worked on herself during the 6 months intensive professional diploma in psychotherapies. And not only has she worked on herself, her clients are giving her remarkable feedback. And that's so obvious because before working on them, she has changed her own self. She has worked on her own self. And today we are going to listen to her journey, her story of what's happening with her. And the level to which Sarika has come now, she is declining job opportunities at offers because she feels so confident the entrepreneur inside her has woken up with everything that we have done inside PDP, and she no longer wants to be a corporate slave. She wants to do something of her own, and the confidence that she has acquired. Today's Instagram live is about that. Today's Instagram live is about listening to Sarika's story, who has come up very, very, very far in just a matter of 6 months. I am inviting Sarika now. Okay, she's here. Hi, Sarika.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for inviting me here today.
I am very excited. Of course, you deserve that. Awesome. Let's get started, Sarika. Okay, let's get started. Let's start by listening to your story. I was just listening to your audio before starting the live, and I was like, oh my God, wow. So start telling us by, how you started. I mean, from a corporate experience, how did you come across the field of psychology? How did things in the mental health space started for you?
Okay, so it is a very exciting story and a kind of something which was never a choice, never an option for me. It is just by destiny that I'm here, and destiny is always very good. I mean, it plans something very exciting for people which we have never imagined. I have to say this. So things started 2.5 years back when I stepped into the field of psychology. Initially, I am from engineering background. I have done my BTech, MTech, worked into corporate for 12 long years, and everything was going good. Then COVID came in, and I was laid off from my job. So things started changing then. And with the advent of COVID, with the advent of other things personally in my life, I was suffering a lot from all directions. I had my own mental health issues. I had some relationship issues. I had self worth, self boundary issues. A lot of things were going on. Plus, I didn't had a job then. So yes, I was struggling a lot. I had that time. I mean, I should say now the universe guided me that way that I should study psychology. I opted for masters in psychology कि चलो कुछ नहीं है तो अभी यही पढ़ लेते हैं. It is a long waited dream कि ये पढ़ना था मुझे कभी. And I started with psychology just for the sake of understanding myself because I wanted to understand psychology. And as my masters was going on, I saw your post on Instagram, and as I scrolled onto your number of posts and I saw your own, the handle, I explored it a lot. I spent like hours watching your videos. They're really, really
Wow.
attractive, inspiring, motivating, and whatnot. So yes, I it got clear कि यार ऐसे नहीं है कि I can only help myself studying psychology. There's something more I can do,
Hmm.
and might be because of this, God has directed me this way कि you can do something more out of it. I have been always very ambitious in my life, but वो ambition कहाँ use करना है, वो energy कहाँ use करनी है, वो नहीं पता था. I mean, in these 12 long years, as I said, I was in corporate. Things were going good. I had a good salary. I had a good life. Everything was good. But then there was some missing part. And I do not know what that missing part was. Maybe now I know that was the lack of purpose, the lack of calling. What I was doing, I was earning money, I was fulfilling something, I was doing somebody's job, but I was not making a meaning out of it. When I stepped into just I won't say stepped into BDP. When I saw your videos, your posts, I thought there can be something more out of it, not just this. And that is when I decided to step into BDP. Of course, I had a lot of doubts, I had a lot of questions, and you very patiently answered all of them. And this is the time when I stepped into BDP.
Wow, Sarika. I mean, this is very inspiring. मतलब इतने सालों का corporate experience. I think Usha also came from the same space. Like we interviewed Usha, I think last week, and she was like, I come from a 17 years of experience in a different industry, but that inner purpose, that calling was missing for her as well. But this is amazing. I mean, I cannot imagine, like, 17 years down the lane, इतने experience के बाद switching the field. So you took that leap of faith. So before stepping inside PDP, I mean, when you started watching all these videos and everything, so what was the missing link? I mean, even while you were watching these videos, so were you looking for something that could help you with the personal growth, or were you looking for professionally something? What exactly was calling you towards, all my posts and everything?
So look, as a lot of PDPians had that they were not able to grow into their field of psychology, they found PDP to be useful in their already existing career. But mine was a very different case. I didn't had this career option even in my dreams. I belonged to a very different background. When I was studying psychology, all my family members were like, "Okay, good, study. मैंने भी पढ़ा है. The elders in the family, हमने भी किया है masters, ये वो, fine. Everything is good." But when that leap of faith plus that kind of Akashvani, they say no, ऊपर से कोई आवाज आई which touched my heart that Sarika, you can even help others. Because as I said, I was going through my own mental health issues, which was impacting every field of my life. So I started while I was studying psychology. I started understanding my own psychology. I had in mind कि जो मैंने suffer किया, I'll make sure my juniors, my children do not suffer that. I have a daughter. My daughter does not suffer that. बट इसके भी आगे कुछ था जो मुझे उस वक्त तक पता नहीं था. बट जब मैंने वीडियोस देखे तो मैंने सोचा कि ये भी तो हो सकता है. व्हाई नॉट दिस आवर करियर कहीं से भी. आई डिडंट हैड दिस इन माय माइंड फॉर एवर बिकॉज नाउ व्हाट आई कैन से इज करियर जब होता है इट हैज इट्स ओन शेयर ऑफ प्रॉफिट अटैच टू इट कि मुझे सैलरी मिलेगी या मुझे मैं पैसे कमाऊंगी या मुझे कुछ और मिलेगा. whatsoever it is, I had nothing of that in my mind. मतलब जो एक ख्याल मेरे मन में आया था दैट वाज जस्ट प्योर सर्विस, जस्ट प्योर हेल्प दैट आई कुड गिव टू अदर्स. ये तो बाद में आया कि हाँ इट कुड बी अ गुड मीन्स ऑफ अर्निंग टू मी एज वेल. ये बाद में आया. सो दैट वाज अ वेरी प्योर फीलिंग.
And the transition, I mean, I might be deviating a little, but the transition of being financially independent from so many years, to uske baad, you were completely not earning when you were doing your master's in psychology. So was there
Yes, I was.
also something that was adding on to the mental health concerns and
Definitely
everything?
it was. As I said, I mean, there's a specific system in the Indian families that still exists, right? So I had this in mind कि अभी तो पैसे आ रहे थे. There's always this thing, no, कि अभी जॉब छोड़ दी है और नहीं करनी है तो फिर पैसे नहीं आएंगे. And पैसे नहीं आएंगे does not make a difference in my life. But then that mentality कि I am not earning. So that was there, of course. But then this, as I just mentioned, this pure feeling of service, this pure feeling of help, it dominated every other feeling in the world. मैंने सोचा नहीं कि मैं इससे पैसे कमाऊंगी, नहीं कमाऊंगी, क्या करूंगी. वो सारी चीजें छोटी पड़ गई उस वक्त. I thought कि this, if I am able to do this, if I am able to change even a single person's life, then it will be bigger than anything else in the world. तो वो चीजें बहुत छोटी लगने लगी थी उस वक्त.
Beautiful. So then, before PDP, did you try anything else also, Sarika? मतलब कोई और programs, कुछ workshops, internships? I mean, a lot of people come after a lot of, trainings and everything. Or was this the first program that you stepped into?
All right, that's a really good question, and I am very blessed that I did not try a lot of things before I entered into PDP with you. Because फिर वो जो learn किया था वो unlearn करना पड़ता, फिर learn करना पड़ता. I had this first-hand knowledge, first-hand expertise given to me inside PDP through you, and that is the best thing. I mean, I had theoretically studied psychology books, I had attempted my exams, and then I had got this practical knowledge from you. There's a little program that I attended that was a supervision program, but it was okay types. I won't say it was very bad. I had learned a few things, but of course, I cannot compare it with PDP. So I got the first-hand knowledge from you, and I really feel blessed about it.
Wow. So then, Sarika, you said you had a lot of questions before you stepped inside the program, right? So what were these questions? What was going on in your mind? I don't remember what questions you asked. So I think a lot of other people also who might be, thinking of stepping inside, they might have similar questions. And maybe with you sharing and then you sharing your experience, that might get answered. So if you can share that also.
Of course, of course. I understand you won't remember. You get a lot of questions from a lot of people like me.
And it's been, I think, 6, 7 months. So I don't remember at all.
Of course, that's obvious. So, first thing was the financial thing because, as I said, I was not earning at that point of time. I had my savings in my bank account. So, once I was not earning, no income was there, and putting in that much amount in a certain course, and there are 100 courses running in the market, right? I had already invested some amount in that supervision program that I just mentioned about. I was a bit skeptical about करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए. It's a hefty amount for me. Hefty amount in terms of because I had that amount as my savings. I mean,
Yeah,
it's gone,
true.
so it's gone. Even if I learn something or I don't learn something, it's gone. And I have no job for this point of time at least. And future is always unpredictable. So I was very, very, very spectacle about it that if I'm investing that much of amount, will I get that much of output out of it or not? So you never, the best part was that you let me take my decision rather than telling me ki why you should enter the program. You never told me why I should enter the program. That is what you have that expertise, of course, that you directed me in the direction that I should find my own answers if I really want to enter or not. And I should decide if this is the right program for me or not. That was one thing, the finances.
So what helped you decide it?
Of course, it made the when I asked you a question anytime, I mean 6, 7 months back, you always mostly ask me a question back, the Socratic questioning kind, right? And that made my mindset clearer and clearer with every other question. So not just I was able to decide that I have to enter PDP or not, also I was able to clarify in my own mind what I want exactly. So
Wow.
that is how things were clear for me in multiple aspects, not just about deciding about PDP. This was one thing, of course, and the other
Before I
thing
move
was
to the next thing, so now that you have experienced PDP, I mean, I also want people to get the answer, right? So now that you've experienced PDP and maybe you took the first class or the first month, so did the skepticism because आप join भी कर लो, people are like कि 99% मैं sure हूँ, वो 1% मुझे join करके ही पता चलेगा. So since Sarika, you're somebody who has actually joined and experienced the program, so was the financial investment actually worth it?
it was worth it multiplied by 100 times. Because truly I believe in the fact that whatever service somebody is giving, service as in teaching also, it does not have a monetary value. It cannot be measured in terms of money, of course, right? And it is just not just about what you're teaching inside PDP, what you are making us PDPians do inside PDP. Moreover, it is like you are an inspiration for all of us, including me, because the dedication you show in your work, dedication, the empathy you show with the PDPians is just commendable. I would really like to say this in front of everyone who will listen to this video. That is just commendable. And along with the skill set that I have been learning inside PDP, I have learned this a lot. Whatever, I don't have access to any more videos or something, but whatever pieces I do have, uh, I go back and listen to them sometimes, or maybe on social media, on Instagram, I go back and listen to your videos so that I can again get myself inspired and motivated. Because that is the level of dedication one has to show with his or her clients, his or her patients, whatsoever it is. So that is something I have never experienced before.
And what other doubts did you have before stepping inside the program?
So, as I said, I was very new to psychology field then. I couldn't ask any. मतलब एक ये ख्याल आ रहा था कि since I do not know much about psychology background, much about these therapies which are being taught in any other program and also in PDP, ऐसा तो नहीं कि it will not be enough. And whatever this person is telling me, okay, but I don't know everything about it, no? So ऐसा तो नहीं कि ये कम पड़ जाएगा या enough नहीं होगा या ये नहीं है जो मुझे चाहिए. A lot of things were there. So you clarified all my doubts.
And when you stepped inside the program, was it really like this? Now that you've completed the program, आपको वो need feel होती है कि मुझे शायद something is incomplete? Or do you feel a holistic therapist की, oh my god, no matter what type of client is coming to me, I can actually deal with them?
A very honest answer to this is no. I do feel holistic, number one. Number two is learning has no end. So I'm still learning. After PTP also I'm learning. But what PTP has given me is a gem. It's very precious and it is a gem. Like it has transformed me like 180 degrees shift aa gaya hai in my own personality, in my own skill set, in my own confidence level. Because that scenario that had happened in COVID and everything, that has dipped down my confidence level to just nothing. To just nothing. And plus my own personal issues, as I said, the family issues, of course. So confidence kahan gaya tha, I didn't know. And I literally prayed to God, sometimes crying at night, that God, I want myself back. The original Sarika back. Because I knew my strengths. I knew who I was maybe 10 years back. But I didn't know any way out how to get myself back. That is what PPP has given. As a person to me, or leave apart the skill set and everything.
It's your personal transformation. That's what I was sharing when I was introducing you. That you are an embodiment of what you are practicing. Because I don't see a lot of people, a lot of psychologists talking about this thing, healing yourself before healing your client, and working on your own self before working, and working on yourself while working with your clients as well. So when that element is missing, you can never feel that confidence. और अगर आपने वो टेक्निक्स खुद पे ही अप्लाई नहीं करी है, वो कन्विक्शन आएगा कैसे कि these techniques actually work? Reading something in the books is very different from practicing it first hand on yourself and then on other people and seeing it work right in front of your eyes.
Of course.
So this is very huge, Sarika. Were there any other doubts that we should be aware of?
Mostly around finances, mostly around what will I be offered in the program, and what opportunities will I have after I complete the program, and is this certificate, if this program has validity or not, is it even valid? All of those sort of questions. So yes, all these were the doubts, and they were clarified very well. They were answered very well.
Amazing. Because I also see that a lot of students from distance, they have this thing, ki, okay, we need something from RCI only to practice. Not knowing that RCI only regulates the rehab part and the clinical psychology part and not counseling as much. कोई license exist ही नहीं करता है as of now for counseling psychologists. You need masters plus training. Then also this doubt of अच्छा, accreditation of certifications. I mean, without proper training, but this can be a whole other topic in itself. Accreditations are as easy as Sarika, you open a company today and you pay somebody, 15, 20,000 and they'll give you the accreditation. They don't check anything about what level of work you're doing, what is the quality or status of it. You can have it internationally recognized. So that research is a lot of times missing, and there's so many voices everywhere for somebody who is a psychology aspirant कि वो deviate हो जाते हैं.
Very true.
So that is it.
Trustee ma'am,
Go ahead.
I have met a lot of psychologists now. I mean, I'm not no more a newcomer into this field. I have met a lot of practicing psychologists outside PDP. And when I practiced with them somewhat, or I shared with them how I do a certain technique, or in a certain case, what should be applied, they ask me, "Oh my God, where is this coming from? Where have you learned this?" And I proudly tell them, "Okay, this is the place I have learned all this from." So
This is amazing.
yeah, so this I would really like to mention this. There was a recent podcast I was invited to, and I attended that as well. Uh, this technique, scribbling technique that we use in experiential counseling, people have liked it like anything, like anything, and not the. I understand this technique is not something that has been explored right now, just yesterday. It is not like that, but the way it has been taught inside PDP, how to apply, very patiently, step by step, how it should be applied. Because of course I have made that therapy, I have applied that therapy on other PDPNs, and others have applied that on me as well. I know how it feels like, or what all thoughts run in mind, or what all are the difficulties while somebody else is applying that technique on me. Everything A to Z. So that technique has been appreciated for with each and every client of mine. Even the person who was the host of this podcast, he attended one of my sessions earlier. So he mentioned that in the podcast also, that that is a very unique thing I have ever came across. What is that thing, and what do you do exactly there? So that is a really, really amazing thing. Just one of those things, not that this is the only amazing thing. Just one of those things is there.
Wow. This is amazing, Sarika. You're absolutely doing an incredible work, which I'm going to come to when we discuss with your clients as well, because you've come a very, very far way. I mean, in the practical world, I think we start from zero inside PDP.
Yes.
And to the level that you have come right now, like you're charging well, people are giving you amazing feedbacks. That's a long journey that you've traveled just in a span of 6 months. So kudos to that. So,
Thank
Sarika, when you stepped inside the program, what was it like? You know, what was your journey like month after month? What happened? What was your experience like? Transformation of Sarika month after month, or after each quarter, what was that like?
So once I entered PDP, the very first weekend I should talk about, I was like, okay, there's just another program because I've already invested, but until and unless I do experience what exactly is inside, I was very normal. Okay, fine, just another program. And I had, as already mentioned, I had my own things I was struggling with. But the very first session, I started with the ACT therapy and acceptance commitment therapy. And the very first weekend I spent with all the batchmates and you, it was just mind blowing. It was really, really mind blowing. And of course, before a week of that, I had watched all the recorded videos and everything. So it was very, very interesting. As you usually say, I was binge watching them already. It was because it was very interesting, and it was more interesting to me because I didn't knew much about psychology. So it was even more interesting to me. And the first session live with you was a cherry on the cake, I should say. I mean, the way those breakout rooms, the way of practicing. This is something I was not known to earlier. थोड़ा बहुत idea हुआ था when I was watching the videos. But when it actually happened, I didn't had any hesitation or something. But I was like, will I also be able to do it? The others are doing, because we have all the seniors with us who are in, somebody is into their 6th month, somebody is into their 2nd month, all level of seniors. Some people are just like us joining with us. So I mean, there's a lot of learning inside. In the very first session, a lot of people encouraged me, welcomed me very warmly, encouraged me ki, okay, so this is the setup, this is how you need to do it. And every weekend, therapy by therapy, you will become more confident. So a big thanks to all the batchmates, seniors as well, how they helped me and hugged me tight inside PTP, along with, of course, you being the anchor of everything running around. So the very first session, I would say, was mind blowing, and my love for psychology, my love for PDP, my love for helping others using these techniques kept increasing with each therapy, with each weekend.
Wow. Did you miss any of the sessions?
No, not at all. I was traveling in the middle in December. I joined in September. So in December month, I was on a family trip with my in-laws, with my husband and everybody, with my daughter. Even in the hotel, when everyone was planning to go out and have a walk or something, I was there in PDB. I was an observer then because I could not speak. We were traveling in a taxi and exploring places. I was online and
Wow.
attending those sessions because I had promised myself not to miss even a single session. ठीक है, if not possible, I will be an observer, but I won't miss a single session because it is not worth missing. Number one. Number two, if you miss a single session, you will lose upon a lot of things. So I never missed a session.
Wow. Okay. And then this is your professional transformation that you mentioned. Ki initially, from that fear of will I be able to do this, to okay, you actually came to a point. I have seen you in the last months of PDP Sarika taking incredible sessions, building repo like this, and the empathy, the face expression, and everything. It's visible that an expert is speaking by the end of the program. So, what about the personal transformation? Like, when did your family started noticing that Sarika is different? When did you started noticing that okay, now I'm getting my old self back that I actually wanted?
Okay, so with as you say, always embodiment. So embodiment is the um, soul of transformation that has happened to me as well as each and every one inside PDP whoever has done it. So, as I said, I started with act. Then act we practiced, um, uh, that my life epitaph and attending my own funeral and everything, and those were eye openers. The transformation started from the very first session. And
Hmm.
as I mentioned, these therapies, these were eye openers. These told me, okay, whatever am I doing, whatever I am as today in terms of personality, this is not something I would like to see myself like in the last days of my life, not at all. And that power just boosted out like anything. And it kept increasing with every therapy. And as each and every technique was applied on me, things became more and more clearer. So there are two parts of it. Number one, what I want to be, and
Hmm.
what I don't want to be. I mean, they go in parallel, of course.
Yeah.
You always ask the question, no, whenever you visualize your higher self, what are the things that are not going with you? That is a more important question rather than what is going with you. Everyone knows what's going with me, but very few know what's not going with me.
Very,
So
very
I
true.
explored that. That is what is not going with me for sure. This is
Hmm.
one thing. Once the the future self was visualized with every other therapy applied, how to do it. So many people are there in the world, they know this is what I want, but how to do it, how to reach there, that is another big question.
Hmm.
So how to do it was also solved with each and every session, with each and every recording I watched. Ki, okay, if this is the problem in front of me, how to solve it? So if this is the goal, what should be the blueprint of going about it? So this
Wow.
the real embodiment has actually happened. I mean, I keep on saying I have been my own case study first, even before applying any of the techniques on my clients. So yeah.
Hmm. Wow, Sarika, this is amazing. I mean, you've come a very, very far way. So,
Actually,
there,
when I really see, I think sometimes what Sarika was 8 months back before September, say, I am not able to imagine or I'm not able to say a yes कि यही वो Sarika है. Because actually a lot of mental work, a lot of inner work has been done, and I sometimes laugh upon myself. Why was I like that? I had so much of strength inside me. Why was I like that? And again, thanks to the universe, thanks to God, and of course, thanks to you that all this happened. I became a part of PDP. I mean, career to theek hai. It will go on. It will depend on my own efforts as well. But as a human being, how I have transformed is a major deal here. Not just transformation for once. I'm sure at least on this day, as we are standing in June, I'm sure if even I have my lows in my life, everyone has their share. I know how to approach them, how to look at them, plus how to get out of them. So
Wow.
this is a very big thing that I have gained, I have achieved.
So who was Sarika 6 months ago and who is Sarika now? What is the actual difference?
Okay. So who is Sarika now? It's already visible. I'll tell you who was Sarika earlier. Sarika has become very underconfident. Very underconfident means very underconfident. I mean, if somebody would have asked me to address just 10 people, I won't have been able to. I mean, very underconfident, the lowest of my life up till now.
Hmm.
Uh, there were a huge number of self-worth issues. I was doubting myself like anything. I
Hmm.
I was lost in all the things those were surrounding me. I had forgotten what all are my strengths, what I could do. I was lost in terms of career also somehow at that time because I didn't had a job. And not just I didn't had a job, I didn't even wanted that job back because I knew salary would come in, but I was not happy. So
Hmm.
again, it was a very dilemma kind of a state. I have to do that job, but then I don't want that job because it is no more making me happy anyhow. Then, as every other woman in the world, I was struggling between family responsibilities, profession, my own ambitions, and everything. So it was a very confused state in a nutshell, and a lot of grudges, lot of all the negative things were there. So
Hmm.
I was not happy with them, of course. When you have anything inside you in the form of grudge, also in form of when you don't feel good about anyone else or your own self, nobody can
Hmm.
be happy like that.
Hmm.
So I was in that state, and very fewer people knew. Not even my closest family members had this idea what I was going through, but
Hmm.
I knew, of course. So yeah, and now if you talk about now I have came out from that victim mode to taking ownership mode. I take
Wow.
ownership what with whatever. So what I just realized, I was just thinking about this just before the session, that the external situations haven't changed a lot. I mean, they keep on changing in a trivial manner, but they
Hmm.
haven't changed a lot. People around me are the same, situation around me is the same, things coming in like जैसे हमेशा होता है. What has changed there? My approach towards things has changed now. As I said, I was living in a victim mode then,
Hmm.
and now I have started taking responsibility, ownership for whatever is going on with me. And of course, I take ownership and then I take action. Okay, so if this is the thing, I accept it, number one. And next, what to do about it. So I am a more confident person. More than helping my own self, I am helping a lot of other people. It feels so nice when I see people getting inspired. I mean, it is a very different feeling. Of course, I feel proud about myself also, and then I feel good about them also. Ki, wow, if I'm able to inspire somebody, if I'm able to help somebody, it is the biggest kind of, as a human being, what else could I have done to be more than that? So, yes, it is just a 180-degree shift. So, yeah.
So have your family members noticed a difference? I mean, what do they say? From their eyes, how has Sarika changed?
There are two aspects of it. When PDP, okay, we'll talk about PDP maybe the next moment.
Hmm.
At this point of time, what my family members say is, number one, I'll talk about my husband. He's the immediate family member. So if say we had 100 fights in a period of time, now we have 5, 10. I mean,
Wow.
that has to be there, no? At least this portion has to be there.
Yes,
But then
absolutely.
I deal with everything so patiently, so deeply. I mean, if even he is not in a good mood, say, it's very easy to get on fire in that situation.
Hmm.
Take it so deeply. I understand him. I'm not trying to say good things about me, but then you asked about family members. So my immediate family members have seen a very positive change in me now. I am no more sad. I remain happy all the time because, of course, I know my self worth. I have my own boundaries. Okay, so this is a big thing. Self boundaries, self boundaries, making others follow them, and you yourself following others' boundaries is a big deal. Very
Hmm.
simply said, very hard to follow. I
True.
have, I had my boundaries earlier also, but they were not very crisp. They were very, very flexible. Of course, I got hurt. Of course, I was sad. I made sure those boundaries were communicated well and clear, and I made sure those were followed as well. I followed others' boundaries and others followed mine and respected them. And trust me, it did not take. It went very smoothly. Maybe it may sound to a lot of people इसमें तो बहुत difficult होता होगा, ये fights होती होंगी, कुछ होता, ऐसा नहीं होता. It's very smooth. It's very healthy kind of a relationship with anyone, be it family, be it friends, be it your professional friends, anyone, be it children. So I have my own boundaries and I see my family members respecting them like anything. So this is a very big thing which I am able to teach my child as well. More than me. I'm so glad about it that I'll be able to teach this thing to my daughter as well. So this is
Very
the
nice.
change that has come inside Sarika.
And what do the rest of your family members say? Are they also able to recognize these boundaries?
So my family members started reaching out to me for anything and everything now. Sarika,
Very nice.
this thing is going on. What should I do?
So they see you as an expert now?
Huh. I mean, they just don't see me like as an expert because I have been studying psychology or have been inside PDP, but they have seen the transformation inside me. So that is why they have started reaching out to me. And my own parents, they have seen a drastic change inside me and they feel really proud. So I just understand that feeling when somebody's daughter is married and parents are always worried. Even a little pinch also, if it hurts the daughter, it hurts 100 times to her parents. So now my parents are like, now we are just so satisfied that you are able to handle your own life very well. So they are very proud of me now.
You've come such a long way, Sarika. बहुत unrealistic, unbelievable नहीं लगता कि in a span of just 6 months, like you're telling me that you have drastically poles apart, इतना change आ गया. So how did this actually happen? What are the behind the scenes of this transformation?
Okay, so yeah, you're right. It is very unrealistic when we say कि इतना change. I mean, when I was in standing in maybe a year back, okay, June, July 2024, I wouldn't have imagined कि after an year, अगर मैं कुछ भी कर लूँ तो I will become this. ठीक है, मतलब I will be able to do something, but this is something I wouldn't have ever imagined. So behind the scenes is number one, I would say taking the first step because as you say, as I also say now, without taking ownership, nothing happens. If somebody will remain in the victim mode, this is happening to me, that is happening to me, my husband is like that, my boss is like that, any other thing in the world, things won't change. So, first thing is just take ownership of whatever situation you are into, then only will you be able to do something about it. I took ownership. So, when I joined PDP, I made sure I didn't ask anyone because when you ask a number of people, things flip around. And then you also create a doubt in your head. I was maybe my soul was so sure about it. I had questions, of course, but my soul, my inner voice was so sure about it that I have to be a part of PDP that I didn't want it to ask anybody. I mean, it was my own saving, everything was there, but then you take suggestions from your family members also, right? But I made sure I don't. Because
Very
they
nice.
haven't seen your videos, your social media, or they haven't lived my struggles, both the cases, right? So I just communicated this to my mother that I am going to do this and I'm really sure that I want to do this. And these are my savings, all of them. And I am going to put these savings here in this course. And I'll make sure, first of all, I'm confident that these are not going to be wasted. This the input I'm going to give, the efforts, the money I'm going to give, वो waste नहीं होने वाला है. Even if it gets wasted, I want to take that risk. Someone inside me was very sure. So after even 100 questions asked to you, I stepped inside PDP. So this is the very first and the major step that I took, taking the first leap of faith, first step. And inside PDP, things just happened automatically. What I had to do in my efforts was just sit for the weekend, listen 100 talks from my family कि कब खत्म होगा ये, then we will go on late night drives, हम कब जा पाएंगे dinner पर on weekends. Apart from that, I just had to take time and sit on the weekends attending the live sessions and making sure that I did all the homeworks and assignments. I plus the recordings also before the sessions and after the sessions. ये सब करने के अलावा सब कुछ automatically होता चला गया. First step जो मैंने वहां लिया था, it paid all 6 months.
You took such a huge leap of faith. मतलब इतना अपने trust और वो सब कुछ, you know, you jumped with everything.
Actually.
It takes a lot of courage and, you know, the risk-taking ability.
And I wonder where that courage came from. Because as I was mentioning, I was a very underconfident person due to a number of reasons that have happened in my life during that part of point of time. I don't know where that courage, where that voice came from. Ki nahi Sarika, I have to do this, and it just came, and it came for good. I should say this.
So when you were actually doing your research, because I tell everybody who comes to me, I'm like, आप अपनी research करके आओ. तसल्ली से when you are 100% sure कि this is what you want, then you come inside. So you also mentioned you did hours and hours of research. So was there something that clicked inside of you, या किसी की story before you stepped inside that you remember, or words that made you like, कि, okay, I have to get inside now. I cannot wait any longer.
Honestly, I did research, but I didn't explore the whole world in terms of research. I didn't explore the number of courses because, first of all, I was very impressed, you should say, that this course is something, it's looking very good. This mentor is looking very confident, very good, and very an expert in her field, number one. And number two, I did research, but inside PDP only. So I visited, the videos you had with the kind of conversation we are having, you already had with Rupali ma'am, I remember. So
Yes.
I watched that video. A few more people, I watched those videos. I went to their profile, I explored their profiles as well, what they are doing in their lives. So of course, the curiosity in your mind, no? कि ये लोग जो PDP कर चुके हैं, अब ये क्या कर रहे हैं? How I will look after PDP. I mean, there's a kind of imagination.
Absolutely right.
So I explored their profiles and तब भी मन नहीं भरा तो I pinged them also कि this is the scene and I am looking forward. What do you suggest? So she replied back to me कि look, this is a commendable thing. You should go for it if you want. But then make sure you give your 100%. I mean, I'm not saying, she wrote it in a very brief statement, and it meant this way कि this is a very good course or certification to go for, but under the conditions that you give your 100%.
Very good. Hmm.
That I was very sure कि I have been a very workaholic person always. I was sure कि if I'm there, I'll give my 100%, more than 100% also. And if other things are sorted, then I'm done. I'm okay.
So did the investment pay off? मतलब इतना बड़ा risk, सारी savings डाल दी. Did it pay off? Do you regret any
I'm
bit
really
of it?
happy about it. I'm really happy about it that I invested. Payoff, though, as I mentioned in the very starting, some things just don't have a monetary value. This is such a thing. This is such a thing. I cannot measure my own transformation in terms of money, right? If I would have gone for therapies, maybe I would have invested more than this. And that also not sure if I would have been this Sarika only that is sitting in front of you. So when you talk about payoff, yes, it is a complete paisa vasool thing, and it is more than that. Whatever you are expecting, you know what, ma'am? This is a very nice thing. Even after people watching these videos, as I watched Rupali ma'am's video, even after watching this, people cannot imagine that what they are going to become. Of course, if they give their 100%. So this is what happened to me. I had imagined certain things कि ठीक है मुझे therapies आ जाएंगी, ठीक है मुझे confidence आ जाएगा शायद, but जो आया है वो से बहुत ज्यादा है. So it has paid out very well, even more than 100 times of what I had invested. And in terms of money, exactly, if you talk about, I have already earned back a majority amount of what I've invested, and बाकी का भी पूरा हो जाएगा. मैं फिर
I
से वो
see.
अपनी एफडी करा दूंगी जो मैंने सेविंग्स की पहले लगाई हुई थी.
Wow. Sarika, commendable transformation. Matlab, you know, I think an interview that I would remember. मतलब इतने interviews होते हैं बहुत similar होते हैं different होते हैं but an interview that I would remember a transformation से भी ज़्यादा somebody's efforts and you know that full leap of faith कि सब कुछ ही you give your 100% into it and it paid off. You know, like there are some people, matlab, I've taken interviews in the past and they're like, we prayed to God ki show us one direction which changes the trajectory of our career. And you're telling me that that was a similar case for you, ki, you know, God show me that light. And
Definitely. And God showed me that, my child, whatever you're praying for is much less. It is a very small thing that you're praying for. There's something very big waiting for you. As I said, I was at a point of time worried just about my career. कि अभी career में कुछ दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. And of course, the other things were going on in my life. And the other point of time, career मुझे बहुत छोटा लगने लगा. मुझे लगा कि यार career तो ठीक है, वो तो मैं कर ही लूंगी. This is the major thing.
I mean, of course, you're sharing this transformation. It's giving me goosebumps, but you've witnessed it firsthand. You have witnessed, I think it's kind of like a miracle from that level of underconfidence to where you have come. It's not an easy transformation. हम बात करते हैं ऐसे जैसे easily हो जाता है, but I can understand there are so many ups and downs we go through. There are so many barriers that you have to get past, which is why I think Rupali told you कि अपना 100% देना and you made sure you give. क्योंकि अगर हम नहीं देते a lot of times people face resistance.
Actually.
थेरेपी में भी जब क्लाइंट की रेजिस्टेंस आती है फिर हम उसको रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं कर पाते हैं unless we have been through that resistance and passed that resistance ourselves.
Of course.
So you give your 100%. You stick to the program and stick to everything, even when resistance came in.
Of course, of course. And this has been reflecting in my services as well when I give to the clients. As I was expected to give my 100%, I also expect my clients to give their 100%. And that is not just well communicated to them as you communicated that to me, also it reflects in whatever therapies I apply with them in the session, whatever, there's a say a session is today and after 7 days another session, whatever communication, active or passive kind of communication is going on between me and the client, this thing also reflects that I am expecting their 100%. So it really changes the story. There are, lots and lots of therapists around the world, but this is one thing that changes the story to a next level, that sometimes the therapist thinks himself to be responsible for everything. Okay, I am applying this, I am doing this, but you cannot do a magic, right? You can only apply therapies. Until
True.
the client wants to do something or wants to give his 100%, outcome to nahi aayega na. So this is what is reflecting with me now as a therapist as well, that I am expecting my clients to give their 100% and they are giving as well.
Wow.
There's none of the clients I have faced up till now which I thought कि नहीं दे रहा है. ठीक है, वो 90 100 हो सकता है, but ऐसा नहीं कि बिल्कुल 50% देने वाला कोई है. ऐसा कोई भी
Because
नहीं
you're
हुआ है.
proud of who you are, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Very nice. So, Sarika, now if we move towards, you know, your professional transformation. So, tell us about that. What type of clients are you currently working with? What is the best, some of the best feedbacks that you've received so far? और बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं client drop out हो जाता है. तो आपके साथ clients कैसे रह रहे हैं? You know, drop out हो जाता है when you're not expert. And they feel like drop out is very common. 50% drop out common है कि 8 में से सिर्फ 4 ही clients continue करेंगे. आपके experience में क्या हो रहा है clients के साथ और क्या transformations हो रही हैं? What is the magic you're creating?
Okay. So, answering your first question, what kind of clients I'm taking, after running around the bush, I have refined my niche a bit. Maybe
Very
I'll
good.
refine more in the future. I am basically dealing with clients into stress, overthinking, and anxiety. And also, I don't know how, but I am working with confidence of people as well. It was again something which I haven't I haven't done deliberately. It somehow just happened. I'll tell you how. So the first three things I mentioned: overthinking, stress, and anxiety that I'm dealing with. So I always say that this is something I talk about on my social media about these things only. Somehow I related this to confidence. I thought कि जिनको भी ये हो रहा है, somehow their confidence is being impacted, and I don't know. I mean, there have been months now. I have just created a group, a community wherein I help people to build up their confidence with everything I can on a daily basis. And this community is completely free of cost. I just
Very nice.
wanted to do something without cost also. I do understand it has its own share of pros and cons, but then I wanted to do it. So
Very good.
I've already started it and I'm doing it. And as far as I know from the responses of people, that people are really loving it and people are applying my whatever tips, not tips, but they're a part of small therapies only that I'm giving them. So they are being benefited from them as well. This is one part I am doing. Secondly, the niche, as I already said, stress, anxiety, and overthinking, which I'm dealing with. So I am taking clients on that in that window only. Uh, Talking about clients, so there's one part. Whatever client comes in, whosoever approaches, he's never denied mental health service due to money. I mean, money cannot be a blocker between me and the client. That is
Very
one of
nice.
my core principles.
Hmm.
If somebody is approaching and he is in real need, that I ask a few questions and then I obviously come to know to a greater extent uh, if he's in need, so I would not deny him because he just cannot pay. That is
Okay.
not my cup of tea. This
Very
is not
nice.
something I'll be doing as a human being. Number
Hmm.
two, taking clients, I usually try I make clients understand that whatever the issue is, if it is just about talking, then it's fine. We can just sit and talk in for one session. If there's a problem to be solved, something you want to work upon, then it won't happen in one session. So you have to invest your time and efforts for, multiple sittings. So that is
Hmm.
how I go about it, and people do agree. Of course, whatever there are genuine people who really want to work on their mental health. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. They do agree on the fact that yes, it will take time and efforts. So they do invest and they do come in, and I haven't had a single case of dropouts yet.
Very nice. And what are you charging right now? What are your charges like?
So currently there's a sliding scale charge which I've recently updated also. So I'm charging 1800 to 2000 for now.
Very
Uh,
good. Hmm.
so and people are easily coming in. I don't see any resistance in people. Even in the past few months, I had given workshops or sessions to groups,
Hmm.
group of men and everyone. So people have been really impressed in that, and people have approached me from that group. Okay, so there's something I want to work upon. Would you just help me, please? So of
Hmm.
course I do help them, and I am working with a few people from those groups as well. Yeah.
Very nice. Amazing, Sarika. This is really good. I know a lot of people because a lot of people have this misconception कि हमने distance से masters करी है तो people wouldn't pay me. Can I call myself a counseling psychologist? Can I start my practice? And बहुत सारे ऐसे doubts. I mean, I still see them, and I think these interviews are answers to all of those people. With you being a live example for them right in front of everybody, कि irrespective of आपने अपनी masters कहाँ से करी है, what really matters is your skill set, your embodiment that's going to bring the result. And 1800, 2000 is nothing if you have that skill set. Like
Definitely, definitely.
even inside PDB, हमने clear वो difference देखा है between a 200 rupee session and a 2000 INR session. There's a huge gap. तो जब लोगों को वो वैल्यू वो वर्थ दिखती है कि दूसरे साइकोलॉजिस्ट के साथ मे बी मुझे 40-50 सेशंस लगते हैं जो यहाँ पे शायद 4-5 सेशंस में हो रहा है द
Actually,
ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन दैट्स
actually.
गोइंग ऑन.
There are few clients who come in and tell me the stories about their earlier therapists as well. So I mean, I just don't want to mention those stories here, but they didn't had a very good experience earlier. And when they attend these sessions with me, maybe the first session or a first 2 3 sessions, they tell me back. So there's a lot of clarity that I get now, because there's a proper procedure that I follow, that I've learned inside PDP. See, okay, first of all, this thing has to be done. Second thing is, goal setting has to be done. Then the problem statement, all of those things. So I go with the procedure, and of course I implement my own creativity inside it also. But the procedure has to be followed, just to make sure the things are not deviated. Things remain
Right.
in that bandwidth only. So
Hmm.
this is something which my clients have also been telling me, ki the level of clarity that I have got here, that what is the exact problem, rather than talking about 100 things that are going inside my life. I got to know this is the real problem that I want to solve for today, or for
Very
this whole
nice.
journey.
Hmm.
So yes, it is reflecting here.
Now that you've done PDP, Sarika, do you think counseling is just talk therapy?
Not at all. Not at all. Counseling is not just talk therapy. There are a lot of therapies that we counselors learn. We embody it in ourselves. We have gone through all that pain, all that uncomfortable zone, which I know when I ask those questions to my client might go through. So I have live those moments first, and then I am applying those things to the others. It is not just talk therapy, it includes a lot of hard work inside learning, getting trained, and applying it on ourselves. So, no, it's not just talk therapy, it is a proper training that we counselors go through, and then we come across and have that confidence to help anyone around us with who needs help.
Very nice. Absolutely. And now that we've also done PDP, I would also like to add this, right? That there's a very structured approach that you need to follow as a counselor. You cannot be randomly just talking for one session and then, the same thing you're doing for like 18, 20 session and not reaching anywhere. It's CBT is not just ABC and, seven thought column record sheet. There's so much more to each therapy than what we are superficially able to see. So,
Exactly, exactly.
Monica, now there are many more questions which I feel a lot of people have, and nobody better than you to answer them. Were we actually able to dive practically into the therapeutic modalities? And आपको superficially हर चीज की समझ आई या was it actually like you actually learned a huge number of tools and techniques inside the program?
So, a very, very brief answer to this is yes. I learned a lot of therapies very deeply, not just superficially. I mean, if somebody would have told me a name of therapy and given me that sheet to read, it's always available on ChatGPT and Google and everywhere. So, no, that is not just वो enough भी नहीं है, plus वो हुआ भी नहीं है.
Hmm.
So, inside PDP, the word embodiment that you keep repeating has been followed 200%. I mean, every therapy, every technique which we have been taught in the recorded sessions or whatsoever, some of them we have done in the live sessions. The others which were left out, we have been practicing within us, the peers and the fellow mates. We have been practicing as a part of homework, of course, and वो इतना ज्यादा मोटिवेशन इंस्पिरेशन आ जाता है कि होमवर्क नहीं भी मिला हो देन ऑल्सो वी प्रैक्टिस टू मेक श्योर कि सबका हो जाए एम्बॉडीमेंट.
Very,
So we
very
all these techniques have been lived through and then been applied. So it is not just superficial. There's a deep, deep learning and training and embodiment here.
Very nice. And was the program really practical in nature? मतलब आजकल इतने programs हैं market में हर कोई कहता है practical training. But मुझे लगता है this has confused psychologists and counselors more than actually bringing them a clarity कि practical training एक तो है क्या? और this is one of my questions. And second question for you, Sarika, is was the training that you received inside PDP actually practical in nature?
It was 100% practical. Theoretical part is like very less. I mean, 10% or maybe even lesser. Majority is the practical part only. because when it comes to applying those therapies as a counselor, as a therapist, as a psychologist, so theory is okay, it is necessary, I mean, but not sufficient always, right? So I've already studied the study material from my master's and everything. So inside PDP, I have learned the practical application of all those therapies which I have studied there, and even more therapies जिनके बारे में मुझे पता भी नहीं था पहले. But inside here, I have learned the practical application of it. So yes, and moreover to it, when those therapies were being applied practically on me, because as I say, practical application सीखा है करना भी और अपने ऊपर होता है वैसे भी. Then now I sit in front of my clients. Say if I'm applying one technique, it has been already applied on me at least once and sometimes more than once. I know what is running inside the client in a nutshell. I mean, say there's a meditation, just a hypothetical example. Say there's a meditation or some kind of meditational thing I am making my client do. I know how many times in what zone the client's mind would run away. I know this because it has happened to me. So I asked him after the meditation, okay, did this happen? So he says, yes, this did happen. It won't have come if I would have just, studied the theoretical part of it. It is happening because all these therapies have been applied practically on me, and I have also applied them to my fellow mates a number of times.
Very nice. So the analogy that I give is that PDP is the pool that you learn swimming in. And imagine कि the moment while you have enrolled inside PDP, आप pool में तो सीखना आपने शुरू कर ही दिया है, साथ में you have also registered for a competition to swim in the ocean. You cannot immediately jump into the ocean and start taking clients. So you first practice with your peers. You make sure that in all the depths of the pool, you know how to swim. And once you learn that, साथ में ocean में, then you don't feel afraid.
Exactly.
Because you're a pro in swimming.
And one more thing I would like to add to it. Maybe I haven't attended a number of programs, so but I assume that if you attend a certain program or if you're sitting in front of the client, maybe the client likes your ways, your therapies, or sometimes he doesn't. But it will not always happen. Somebody is going to give you that critical review also. Inside PDP, there's a scope and window for that as well. When we had practice inside the breakout rooms, so we were allowed to give every kind of feedback, and we did give every kind of feedback. It is a very healthy community that works inside PDP, wherein I have been appreciated also, and I have been criticized also in a very healthy manner, and that is more important than only being appreciated. So I knew where my flaws were and where still I need to improve. I improved them. I took help from them only who criticized me, sometimes you. And those flaws are also covered. So this is also something very important that happened inside PDP.
Very nice. And Sarika, something that I am also curious about, and I think a lot of people would also be, that you have been a part of supervision. Then why the need of PDP? And how are the two different in your eyes? So अगर किसी ने supervision ले लिया है तो क्या फिर भी उसको PDP की जरूरत है? क्या difference है दोनों में?
सुपरविजन ले लिया है या बहुत सारे और भी प्रोग्राम्स हैं वो भी ले लिए हैं. आई कैन नॉट कमेंट ऑन एवरी अदर प्रोग्राम रनिंग अराउंड, बट पीटीपी की जरूरत है इफ यू वांट टू रियली गेन अ प्रैक्टिकल exposure to whatever you have learned, or if you really want to work as a psychologist, if you really want to help your clients not just superficially but deep rooted issues के साथ भी अगर आप काम करना चाहते हैं, then और अगर आप होलिस्टिक साइकोलॉजिस्ट की तरह अपने आप को देखते हैं इन फ्यूचर, देन ऑब्वियसली पीडीपी की जरूरत है. नॉट जस्ट सुपरविजन प्रोग्राम्स वोंट डू, any internship won't do. I don't know if there's such a good internship or supervision program also available. Whatever I have came through, it's not available. So definitely PDP की जरूरत तो है.
So ऐसा नहीं हो सकता लाइक यू बीन अ पार्ट ऑफ सुपरविजन, अगर आप 1 साल 2 साल सुपरविजन लेते रहते तो ये चीजें शायद आप सीख जाते खुद ही, या ये ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कहीं ना कहीं से हो जाती. बिकॉज आई एम श्योर दैट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल वुड हैव दिस क्वेश्चन. So that's where this is coming from. So what is your take on the same, being somebody who has experienced both?
Even I had this question in my mind, and if even this was my assumption कि ये तो हो जाएगा, अभी 6 महीने में हो रहा है, मुझे 2 साल में हो जाएगा, why not? But once I took that leap of faith, I stepped inside PDP, and this incident, which I'm going to tell, happened when I was a part of PDP. I have yet not completed PDP, so I got in touch with one of the senior psychologists. I knew her somehow, and we were talking about something, some therapies, and she asked me to apply some therapy on her. And when I applied that, she was blown away. She said, I am practicing from last 5 years. I know this therapy, but the way you have applied, the way you have, supervised it, instructed me the things that are commendable. ये कहाँ से आया? अभी तो ये, I mean, you have not even completed your masters. So that thing was amazing. I'll remember her appreciation for lifelong. And this is the change. I mean, rather than explaining, giving an answer to your question, I gave this example. No, these two things are not equal. Supervision will always remain a supervision. Quoting your own example, that if you just sit beside the driver's seat, you cannot learn driving until unless you yourself sit on the driver's seat and start driving. But to start driving needs courage and needs confidence. That is, well served here inside PDP.
Amazing, Sarika. So, understood this part. The supervision and practical training, very rightly said, they cannot go hand in hand. There was another question that came into my mind, and now it's slipped away. I get engaged into the conversation. Okay. What was I going to ask? So we talked about supervision and versus practical training. Now I don't remember.
Okay, I'll tell you something which I had in mind and wanted to share. You just talked about my family and friends. So there are every kind of people around you. Some people are your well-wishers, some people are just superficial well-wishers. Not everybody wants good about you. You cannot always figure out what kind of mask anyone is wearing, but then every kind of people around me have been surprised and astonished with the kind of confidence that I've got. The transformation has been there, of course, and the kind of confidence that I've got. People are surprised. अच्छा, you are taking clients. अच्छा, you are doing this. I mean, जैसे भरोसा ही नहीं हो रहा लोगों को. Yes, I'm doing this.
Wow, this is amazing. Yes, Sarika, I was going to ask you ki in case a lot of people I know and I've seen and everybody tells me I wish I joined PDP sooner. One reason is probably कि investment is has increased multi-folds and everything. Another reason is also कि यार मैं पहले join कर लेती तो पता नहीं मैं अब तक तो कहाँ के कहाँ पहुंच जाती. तो my question to you is कि अगर आपने PDP join करने में से 1 year या 2 year बाद आप ये program करते तो what would have been different in your life? Where would you have been? Uh, what would have been different? Like पहले करते या बाद में करते तो
Okay.
because a lot of people keep procrastinating ना कि मतलब अभी नहीं बाद में या पहले ये try कर लेती हूँ वो try कर लेती हूँ या मतलब for you specifically if I talk about कि if PDP had not come across in your life what would things have been like and what's your take on कि कब PDP करना चाहिए?
Thank you for asking me this question. This is something I really wanted to mention. To those people जो ये सोचते हैं कि कभी कर लेंगे, अभी right time नहीं है, just remember this is the right time. Whatever moment you are standing in, this is the right time. You never know how will your life change in the coming days. Either you join PDP or not. Even when I was in that dilemma, so I paid you the token amount. I was going to pay you the token amount, and then I asked you the question. Not just asked, I told you, कि look, I am registering for this, but I will be able to join the next batch. The reason being, because I had my master's exam in the middle. So I
Hmm.
said, anyhow, I'll register and maybe I'll be a part of the next batch. Like, cyclic course है, बहुत सारे चलते रहते हैं, तो मैं आगे 2 महीने बाद वाला कर लूंगी. But then that was not a possibility here. You
Hmm.
said कि look, that it doesn't work that way. वो बाद वाला, we'll talk about it maybe later. If you want to register now for this very batch going on, then that's okay. I cannot register you for a future batch.
Hmm.
Thanks, you said that, because if I would have started started that wait list कि कभी और तो वो unpredictable हो जाता कभी और. Right
Hmm.
time never comes. You just have to make that moment right for yourself. Right moment never arrives with a well decorated plate or something. It never arrives.
Very
So
true.
thankfully I joined PDP then, because then I didn't had an option, and I knew about myself कि if that urge is coming from inside, if I leave this, even my
Hmm.
family members were saying that कितनी सारी चीजें एक साथ करोगी, give your exams first and then go into it. Logically they were correct,
Hmm.
but something inside me knew कि if I leave this for now, maybe to, अच्छा, I also did not knew that the fee would increase, the monetary investment would increase. If that would have been the case, तब भी वो लगता मुझे, पर वो तब मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि बढ़ जाएगा या क्या होगा. मुझे तो लगा कि ये फीस भी सेम रहने वाली है, मैं तो बाद में भी कर सकती हूँ. बट सम वॉइस इनसाइड मी सेड कि अगर अभी नहीं किया तो कुछ छूट जाएगा, कुछ तो छूट जाएगा मुझसे. जैसे नहीं वो बोलते हैं कि ट्रेन ट्रेन पकड़नी और ट्रेन छूट जाएगी, वो वाला इमेजिनेशन सीन हो रहा था मेरे साथ कि कुछ छूट जाएगा. आई सेड कि बहुत ओवरवेलमिंग हो जाएगा, आई नो, बट देन लाइक वी विल सी, देखा जाएगा, आई एनरोल इट. और मैंने
Hmm.
एनरोल कर लिया एंड थैंकफुली आई डिड, बिकॉज इफ नाउ आई इमेजिन कि अगर एनरोल नहीं किया होता, तो देर आर दो टू सिनारियोज, इधर फिर मैंने कभी भी एनरोल नहीं किया होता फ्यूचर में, और आई वुड हैव एनरोल्ड एट अ लेटर पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम.
Hmm.
कभी नहीं किया होता तब तो फिर मैं कभी चेंज ही नहीं हो पाती, नंबर वन. एंड इफ आई वुड हैव enrolled at a later point of time, things won't have been the same, because life keeps on changing every moment.
Yes.
Tomorrow will be a different day, tomorrow will be a different thing, कुछ नया आ जाएगा, कुछ नई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आ जाएगी, कुछ भी हो जाएगा.
Hmm.
अगर आज पॉसिबल लग रहा है तो just do it today. Why to wait for tomorrow? And if it is a very, if it if it's such a good thing that is going to happen to you as a person and as a professional, why to wait for good things to happen? Make it happen now. And thanks to the universe, thanks to you, that it happened then only. I did not wait. If I would have waited, things won't have been the same, of course.
And I still feel ki, there are people who realize the value of time and there are people who do not. But with what you have shared, Sarika, I think every minute in the life of the person who really wants to become something, it counts. You cannot keep waiting and waiting and waiting. You very perfectly said कि right time कभी भी अपनी वो decorated plate में नहीं आएगा आपके सामने. You have to make it happen.
Actually.
Things won't just happen to you. So that is very true. And I see a lot of people, with what I have seen, I mean, you like you said that I invested all my savings into it, and I take a lot of, I feel very blessed. When you put in so much of it, thank God it's also giving you the benefits. But I know a lot of people who take loans, who loans from parents, families. They go to a lot of depths to get started with the program, and then because they have gone all in, they know कि अब तो इसका benefit मुझे reap करना ही है, so they give their 100% also, and then a day like this comes and I interview them.
And I
So
have been so mindful of everything inside PDP and after PDP also. I have been so mindful. You just mentioned time. Earlier also, I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a child. I have my own set of responsibilities and shares and everything, struggles, everything. But what I realize now, that earlier I was not that mindful of my energy, or what I am giving my mind as in terms of inputs and about my time. After PDP, I have been very mindful about all these things. If I'm sitting in a room, certain people are talking, now I realize that this is something just not for me. This is draining my energy. I move out of the room without disrespecting anyone, in good terms, in good faith. अगर पहले बोला होता किसी ने तो I wouldn't have imagined कि this can also happen. So I'm just being very mindful. The whole 24 hours, I mean, I'm a human. To err is human, of course. I cannot be perfect, but majority of the time, I'm very mindful that where is my time being invested. If I'm resting also, it is also kind of investment, but
okay, I can see you now, Sarika. Yes, your voice
can you hear
started
me?
breaking for me. I think it's my internet. Yes, now I can.
Okay, so I've I was just saying that I have been very mindful now, and this is also a big learning that I've got. I've learned this inside PDP of being making the maximum out of whatever you have, in terms of time, in terms of money, in terms of skills, in terms of resources.
And when you're stepping inside PDP, I also want to address this financial objection, right? Because we just see the investment, but then the value behind it is in reality also it's something which you only find when you are inside the program. No matter kitne log bole and everything. So you've already mentioned, I know, it's 200% or 100% X of what you're investing. For people who are probably stuck at that part, what is your message to them? Is it really worth taking a loan for, or putting into your all your savings and putting into this? Is it really worth that? So what's your answer to that? Is it an actual investment for a lifetime? A lifetime investment hai, ya is it just an ordinary course?
It is definitely not an ordinary course. Otherwise, I won't have been speaking this much without having a track of time. It's definitely an extraordinary course, not an ordinary course at all. And regarding investment, ma'am, I would really say you should train people for free on their money mindset. Because how
Good
I see it
idea.
now is
Point taken.
I have a different lens of looking at things now. I see it like they are just being, they have a different money mindset, which is not a very, very good mindset, should say. That is why maybe people are, I mean, having your own set of doubts is okay. There are certain genuine doubts because
Hmm.
there are 100 things, and all of those 100 things are not worthy. So that's fine.
True.
But after realizing the worth, after realizing how important it is for you and what value is it offering you, I'm talking about PDP here, still having that mindset is just a defect in money mindset. So yes, something has to be done about it. But guys, if anyone would listen to this video now or later, maybe I would, being an ex-PDPian, should say that you should definitely go to it, go for PDP, because it is something which will give you a lifelong uh, treasure. So definitely one should go to it.
Wow. Amazing, Sarika. I also lost track of time. Like my phone's battery is 14, but then I absolutely loved and enjoyed interviewing you, listening to your transformation. And I think yours is one such interview which people will watch over and over again to get that goosebump and that motivation, that inspiration. So it's incredible. Sarika, anything that we may have missed out on in the entire interview that you want to add? और कुछ मैं आपसे पूछना भूल गई हूँ या आपके दिमाग में कुछ स्पेसिफिक था जो आपने शेयर करना है एनीथिंग अलोंग दोस लाइंस
I think we have covered most of the things. I have also mentioned everything that I remember here. And yes, one thing I mean not missed out, but I would like to add on that PDP has made me a much better human being now. I see things at a different level now. I mean, I don't involve myself now in those petty things. I have grown as a human being inside. The inner work has been done very vastly. So this is also one perk, one bonus of PDP that I have got, and I'm sure everyone has got. I mean, when we talk around, I have a lot of acquaintances. So the PDP people, most of them are so helpful, so pro in helping, and that is what I also try to do with anyone, everyone around me, without looking into personal benefits and all that. This is also a big thing that I have achieved out of it. So people, if you're looking for it, so definitely look what value it holds.
Amazing. I was going to ask you this. PDP community is something that I take a lot of pride in. So you've already mentioned it ki it's not a community that will pull each other down. It's a community that takes each other together and we uplift each other. And the reason I created a community starting say right from the first batch, this mindset of helping was very intentional. Because when I was at your place, Sarika, I have been through places where people pull each other down. They are looking for one mistake that you make inside your career, and they would troll you and drag you down and everything. But
Actually.
thankfully, I mean, our community in itself has such an abundance mindset. We know we're not taking from each other's success. I aaj bhi, when I scroll, I follow a lot of you. So you are collaborating with each other on Instagram lives. Somebody is sharing their expertise, another one is sharing theirs. So that's so beautiful to see कि अगर हमारा मिशन सेम है, हम सेम एरिया में काम कर रहे हैं, then why are we against each other? Why not take each other together? Why not believe in the abundance of clients out there, abundance of opportunities out there? And even I think now you're also a part of alumni group, and I see referrals एक दूसरे को दे रहे होते हैं, paid clients के referrals जा रहे होते हैं and everything, which is so beautiful to see.
Actually, and even if talking about resources in that alumni group and the other groups which we have created on ourselves also, I have never noticed anyone denying to anything. I mean, if it would have been the outer world, कोई कुछ नहीं बोलता, कोई help ही नहीं करता, कुछ misinformation. I mean, the world is like that. Let's accept that. But here, I get inspired from these people on a daily basis. To what extent are these people helping without even thinking twice? This mindset has been given majorly by into being a part of PDP. And see, I also have flaws. Everyone have their own flaws. पर मेरे flaws भी धीरे धीरे ठीक हो जाते हैं when I am a part of such a big community who is operating with abundance, who is operating with with a mindset of helping each other. धीरे धीरे वो flaws पहले 10 थे, फिर 9, फिर धीरे धीरे 1 पे आ जाएंगे, 0 हो जाएंगे एक दिन. This is the power of unity and being a part of community of that kind. So yeah.
Beautiful, Sarika. It was so lovely interviewing you. And now I feel like आप इतना change ला रहे हो in the lives of your clients. And, e- everything that your clients are sharing with you in terms of, transformation. So, people tell me, the previous trainees that I've interviewed, they tell me the best feedback that our clients give us is referrals. They, they refer us to other people. So what is that best feedback for you? And with that, I also want to you to tell everybody some of the best feedbacks that you have received. What is the work that you're doing? What is the mission that you are on? How can they get in touch with you? Everything, anything to everything that you are doing. Because with every Instagram live, I am also building a portfolio of very credible psychologists. I have witnessed your transformation. I know the level of change that you can bring in the lives of others. So anybody who comes into my onto my page looking for a psychologist, when they listen to you, what is your message to them? What do you do? What are some of the best feedback that you've gotten? How can they reach out to you?
Okay. So the best feedbacks, I mean, all the feedbacks have been so nice. They have been so kind people. I cannot just mention one, but yes, people have told me a number of times that they have got a lot of clarity right from the very first session. I mean, I had given a few pro bono sessions that I also, I mean, keep giving on a regular basis. So people entered inside PDP with a lot of chaos, confusion. Sorry, entered inside my session with a lot of chaos, confusion, distress, and everything. And within just one session, they got a lot of clarity. This is what people have been telling me. So the actual work has yet not started, but maybe they were struggling majorly with the kind of confusion they had in their mind. That was clarified in the very first or just 2 sessions. So this is such a big sigh of relief to people ki okay, I can see clearly now what has to be done. Now how has to be done is a different question. Maybe they work with me in the next steps with that. But to see things clearly and coming out of that state of confusion is a common feedback that I get, and it's one of the best feedback that I really appreciate a lot people for. Ki, okay, fine. You are clear now ki what has to be done next or what do you want
Amazing.
exactly. And what is my mission? So my number one mission is to spread awareness about mental health, because as I have been telling, I was not into this field until unless I myself had my own mental health issues. वहां से आया कि I should study psychology. वहां से आया I am a part of PDP now. I was a part of PDP, and all of that came. So my mission is to spread awareness about mental health. Uh, I have noticed when I became a psychologist, I mean, professionally, when people around me came to know ki, okay, now Farika is somebody who is helping others in such and such things. a lot of people reached out to me, and they never upfront said that I need help. They were my own people as in somebody was a long lost acquaintance, some colleague, some friend, some childhood friend, anyone. But they haven't been messaging me or calling me from last 10 years, maybe. But they pinged me that day or in those days because they had something to share. So what I have noticed that people do not have resources, number one. People do not know where are the resources. ठीक है, googling is it is one thing. Now google करके निकाल भी लिया कि resources है. If I am a someone who needs mental health help, लेकिन अभी मुझे help चाहिए तो मैं जाऊं कहाँ? अभी मैंने google कर लिया, अभी google कर लिया, there are 10 options whom to trust, because
Hmm.
it is not just like buying grocery. You just go to any other shop and buy it.
True.
It is a very critical, very crucial thing. Not come to a psychologist until unless they trust him or her. So this is what I observed when people pinged me, called me, shared their issues. Ki, okay, these people know me already, some from 5 years, some from 10 or 20 years. That is why they are able to trust me, because they know what kind of a human being I am. So maybe that is why they are reaching out to me now. And I appreciate that even if they haven't called me in the last 10 years, they are still reaching out to me for this at least. That's
Hmm.
so nice. So I have made this my mission that I'm going to spread mental health awareness in whatsoever manner I can, whatever is in my bucket, whatever bit I can do. So for this, what I'm doing is I am taking a number of workshops around me. I am already having my presence on social media. I keep talking in my family and community about this. Not because I am boasting about me, but because I want them to know ki, okay, this is the thing, and you can seek help also for it. You do not need to struggle. So recently, I mean, this is something which is upcoming. I really want to share it here with you. Recently, I've been invited to a very reputed competitive exam institute of North India to address the students, take a session for their whole batch, so that
Very nice.
it can be of help. And I understand, because this is one of my niche also, the anxiety and stress issues which those students face who are preparing for any of the competitive exams. So that I will be giving that in near future. uh, and I'm so happy that I will be able to spread what I'm trying to say to a big lot of people. So this
Hmm.
is
Is it
my
okay if I
mission.
ask where are you coming?
I am going to Kanpur itself.
Okay, very nice.
Kanpur is my hometown
Hmm.
as well, so I will be going there only. But that institute is a big one, so yes,
Very congratulations, Sarika. This is huge. This is amazing.
I'm
Because
really looking
people say
forward to
कि
it. Thank you.
डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन के बाद अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है, हमारी डिग्री की वैल्यू नहीं होती है, एंड ऑल ऑफ दोस थिंग्स. लुक एट सारिका गाइस, शी इज अ रियल लाइव एग्जांपल. आई मीन व्हेन यू हैव
डिग्री
दिस
पे
स्किल
रिलाई ही
सेट.
नहीं करना है. आई वुड टेल दोज पीपल लाइक दिस कि डिग्री दिखा करके आप क्या कर लोगे. इट इज नॉट अबाउट द डिग्री. इट इज नॉट अबाउट, आई मीन, लाइसेंस नहीं दे रही है ना आपको डिग्री. आपकी डिग्री केवल एक क्राइटेरिया फुलफिल करी है कि ओके, यू हैव फुलफिल्ड द क्राइटेरिया. Criteria is never sufficient. It is necessary but not sufficient, right? Your skills will speak. I just gave you that example, no? Very senior psychologists whom I respected a lot. I do respect them a lot. But then they also appreciated me for what I am doing, the way I am doing it. And that is all because of PDP. And it is because of PDP. Plus, you'll have to put in your efforts. Whether it is inside PDP or after PDP. If you sit after PDP in your chair, ki, okay, now things will come to me. Things are not going to come to you. You will have to put in your share of efforts. And if you put in 110%, things will come to you.
वेरी ट्रू. हमारा तो मोटो यही है ना सारिका कि योर रिजल्ट्स शुड स्पीक बिफोर यू एंटर द रूम. तो that's how things happen. मतलब नो मैटर आपकी मार्केटिंग, आपकी ब्रांडिंग, सब कुछ, आपके जितने मर्जी अच्छे रैपर में उसको रैप कर दो गिफ्ट को, अगर अंदर से गिफ्ट ही नहीं अच्छा है तो it's not gonna be valuable enough. So
Actually,
PDP is all about कि you become a psychologist whose results speak for you. तभी रेफरल्स आते हैं, तभी ड्रॉप आउट रेट नहीं होता है. It's not just about a stamp कि मैंने ये कोर्स कर लिया है, or a certificate or another addition to everything that you are doing. It's about कि you truly feel contented with the work that you're doing with your clients. आपको रात को चैन की नींद आए कि the work that I am doing, the feedback that I'm getting every other day, I feel that sense of purpose and fulfillment. I think what Sarika is doing is the same.
Actually, when a client comes in and says, "I have got clarity now," I mean, more than the work, I really appreciate the clarity they get. I am so contented. ऐसा लगता है मुझे ही clarity आ गई है किसी चीज के लिए. It feels so relieving.
Very nice. Amazing, Sarika. And what is the name of your page? Where can people find you?
So I have started this page with the name of Safe Mental Space by Sarika. On Instagram, it is with this name, Safe Mental Space by Sarika. I've also opened up my own website. It is named the same, safementalspace.com. People can reach out to me there. And I have more plans which I will be, putting in action very soon. And I'll keep you posted about the same. So, yes.
Amazing, guys. I will also be making Sarika the collaborator of this video so that you can easily reach out to her. You can stay updated with all the amazing things that Sarika is coming ahead with. We'll be posting this video also on our page tomorrow. So all of you can follow Sarika at Safe Mental Space. If you find somebody who is in need of mental health services, somebody who is genuinely looking for help, I think Sarika is one such credible therapist whose journey you have seen right in front of your eyes. And I feel that one of the amazing niches that Sarika can also help with is underconfidence to confidence. So because she's an embodiment of that work, so you can reach out to her if you're looking to become more confident as a person in your profession, anything to everything of the sort, and plus, like she said, to gain clarity. So reach out to her. And thank you so much, Sarika. It was lovely. I spent 1.5 hours with you. I don't know where they went, but it was so amazing. I think our audience got a lot from this. So this, guys, these podcasts are also being uploaded on Spotify under the page Psychologist Confident AF. So you can even binge listen to them there. So this is also for you, Sarika, that you can also find your podcast there. So and people can follow you or find your website here. Amazing, guys. We will be meeting tomorrow with another PDP trainee of ours. We'll be interviewing her again. Incredible interview is going to happen tomorrow, I think at 4 o'clock. I'll be seeing you guys there. Thank you so much, Sarika. Thank you for spending your time with us, for sharing your journey, for inspiring all of our followers.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking me in for this interview. Number one, I was able to speak whatever I had, whatever good things I had to share. And yes, PDP is something which needs more and more people to come inside PDP because it is worth it. So thank you for giving me an opportunity. I could speak this much about PDP, about myself, about my journey, and about mental health. So thank you so much again.
Thank you so much, Sarika. Guys, we're opening the closing the doors for PDP in 2 days. If you do not want to be the same person in 2026 that you are in 2025, you have the next 6 months to invest inside your personal and professional growth like Sarika did. She's no longer the same person that she was in 2024, and you have an opportunity to not be as well. So you can DM us PDP, you can book a call with our team. The process is a lot more difficult to join PDP than it was when Sarika jumped in, because now there are multiple rounds of interviews that you go through. We make sure that you're the best fit for the program. You're actually gonna put in 100% efforts, because I am like Sarika. I think she already knows. With every batch of PDP, we break our own records. We are people who believe in growth mindset. So growth not only in just terms of finances or number of people inside PDP or number of clients, but also in terms of the transformation that our trainees get. So my mission is that if it took Sarika 9 months to get here, it should take you 6 or even 3. That's what we are working on inside PDP, and I would love to see you inside. If this is, it's if it is calling you just like it has called Sarika. So yeah, feel free to DM. Amazing, Sarika. Thank you so much. I'll now end this interview.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Good night and take care and all the best for your whole setup. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a good night.